Hello, everyone. So the title of this passage is An Ancient Trunk with a Love Story. Among Warwick's blessings and treasures is the Historical Society's shingle house, built in 1764 by Daniel Burt and his son Daniel Jr., for Daniel Jr. and his bride, Martha Bradner. Situated on what is now called Forester Avenue, the land was originally part of Daniel Burt's property, which extended all the way from Galloway Road to Upper Maple Ave. The path, later the road, from Galloway Road to Colonial Avenue was originally called Burt's Lane. With the Revolutionary War in progress, construction of the shingle house was interrupted. At the same time, Daniel and his son were engaged not only in their daily chores of farming, but also in building Warwick's first log church on the corner of Forester Avenue and Galloway Road, now called the Hallowed Ground, a village park. Martha Bradner was a granddaughter of the Reverend John Bradner of Ekinskerry, Ireland, and his wife, Christian Colville of Edinburgh, Scotland, and therein lies a love story worth telling and passing on. After his graduation from Edinburgh University in 1712, Bradner was hired as a tutor to Christian and her brothers. Christian fell madly in love with John, her teacher, and when John asked her wealthy Scottish father for permission to marry, alas, it was denied. With love stronger than family ties, they decided to elope, packed a trunk with all their belongings, and sailed for the New World. The trunk seen to my left. A grueling voyage it must have been. After 18 long and wretched months, they finally reached America, having been shipwrecked and delayed on the Isle of Man for a long period of time. Although they had intended to embark in Charleston, South Carolina, the ship instead landing at Cape May, New Jersey, where the Reverend John became ordained as a pastor of the Cold Spring Presbyterian Church in 1714. 7 years later, Bradner was asked to become the first pastor of the First Presbyterian Church of Goshen, New York, the oldest religious organization in Orange County at its founding in 1721. John Bradner died in 1732. By 1803, Daniel and Martha had moved to Oswego, New York. The trunk stayed in Goshen. Eventually, it was brought to Warwick in the shingle house, where it has remained ever since. Still lining the inside of the trunk are the remains of a tattered newspaper showing some poetry and the awesome date of 1696. Pictured are David Masefield, his daughter Hayden, and son Sawyer, the 7th and 8th generation descendants of John and Christian Bradner. David's mother, Frances Bradner Masefield, and grandmother, Frances Sanford Bradner, were both involved for many years in maintaining and showing the shingle house, which, in 1915, had become the Society's first of its now 12 properties in the village of Warwick. These buildings represent an integral part of Warwick's heritage and charm, and deserve the continued support for all who enjoy and appreciate the history, culture, and learning experiences they provide.